WNBS Sports and the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association present Candlepin Stars and Stripes, featuring the best candlepin bowlers from all over New England. And now in our 13th award-winning season, your hosts for Candlepin Stars and Stripes, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome once again for another Sunday edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes. We're coming to you, as always, from Park Place Lanes in Windham, New Hampshire. Doug Brown, along with Dan Murphy, we're happy to have you along, and this is week 2 of our final regular series of the season as we move toward our 6th and final qualifier for the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions. Last week, the left-hander Bob Kelly got started in this series with a win against Jack Sanick.
That's right. And this week, another tough bowler. Jackie Ray's in. He's trying to make it 2 in a row, and Jackie's standing in his way.
All right, let's meet our two bowlers, get a look at their form in slow motion. First of all, our number 4 seed from Stoneham, Massachusetts, with a win last week, Bob Kelly.
Okay, and Bob comes in averaging 123, has a high single of 210, and roll-off score 665.
And last week, Bob rolled a 377, very consistent in his win over Jack Sanick, who rolled a 329. So Bob goes for 2 wins in a row today, and he will face our number 3 seed from Stowe, Massachusetts, Jack Ray.
Okay, and Jack comes in averaging 125. Another impressive high single of 220. His roll-off score 668.
All right, a couple of more numbers to throw at you. Our bonus ball contest at the end of the hour is up to $110. So if we have a match there, we'll have a lucky winner among one of you at home. And our triple strike jackpot today is up to $1,500. We're still looking for our first winner of the season. Just one of our bowlers has to put 3 strikes in a row together. It'll be worth $1,500 if it happens today. We'll be back for the first of 3 games. Bob Kelly and Jack Ray after this timeout. Don't go away. Well, first we'll take a look at our 5 bowlers in this series on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Bob Kelly, after the win over Jack Sanick last week, faces another Jack today, Jack Ray. The winner of this one will be here next week in the semifinals to face Kevin Davis, our number 2 seed, and of course 2 weeks from today, our championship match, Tim Lipke against the survivor of these next 2 weeks. Bob Kelly starts the match with a 189 punch-out.
Well, if you have to do it, get it out of the way. Well, 4 on the head pin. Good recovery there. Clears out 4 on the right side. Leaves himself just the 2, 4, and 7.
Don't forget.
Whoa.
Wow, Bob just slipped on that one at the line. He'll take a $7 and hope to forget about it and move on. The Tournament of Champions, the 9th annual Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions, begins 3 weeks from today. And right now, the matchup would be Steve Plant and Chris Grimes to start the Tournament of Champions, but that could change depending on how the 3-game total score goes for the winner of this particular series. So 2 open boxes for Bob Kelly to start the match. And that will bring up Jack Ray. Jack was last here right at the beginning of this season, back in October. In fact, he won the very first show of the new season, beating George Ashley with a 4-13. Came back the next week and beat Glenn LeBlanc, rolling a 4-11. And then the 3rd week in the semifinals, he lost a tough match to Paul Berger. Jack rolled a 367. Paul Berger went on to win that series, and of course, Paul Berger, as usual, is in the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions. That's a $9 for Jack Ray.
Just slipping off the lane into the channel and back out again for the 10-pin, but as we've said many times, it has to hit something fair first, then it could go anywhere it wants to.
Oh, great pocket hit. Wow.
You can be thinking about that one. Misses the 10-pin for the spare, comes right back with a strike. 1/3 of the way to $1,500.
Yes. The triple strike jackpot grows by $50 a week, and it's been growing all season. We've had an awful lot of double strikes and an awful lot of close calls on the possible 3rd strike, but it hasn't happened yet.
2, 4, 6, 10 for Bob.
Oh, great shot.
Oh, boy.
But it doesn't go.
Actually spun the 6-pin around on its spot, but not enough to knock it down.
So that'll go as a 10, and Bob is still looking for his first mark.
Oh, he's going up. 7, 9, 10. It's time. And he'll have to convert the 4 horsemen. And I don't like the piece of wood. Piece of wood's going to send the head pin right to the left sidewall.
Well, he got a little break as it came back right to left, but not enough for the 7 pin.
The right sidewall come back, and it's going to knock down the 2 and the 4 and leave the 7. That's exactly what happened.
Just as you predicted after the shot.
I think they noticed that at home. Another 10 box for Jack. 36 through 4.
Here's what happened.
Yeah, played it on the inside, which sent the head pin to the right sidewall instead of the left, but Jack Ray trying to throw 2 strikes in a row and actually slipped on the approach. And Jack is the type of bowler, both these bowlers, type of bowlers that are very capable of throwing multiple strikes.
Wow. Nothing happening in the back row for Jack.
7 on the strike. And he's left with the 8, 9, and 10.
Piece of wood that might be able to help him out.
Yeah, should clear out a couple of them, I would think.
Oh, he tried to go
it.
very low and taking a chance. Went wide of everything.
Tough crowd. Wow.
Trying to make a tough shot and Jack right back in the pocket for another strike.
Well, there's 2 out of 3 boxes, but unfortunately the one in the middle was a 7 box. And who knows if he didn't slip on the approach. Here he's stripping the 4 pin for the second of his 2 strikes, but not in a row, unfortunately.
Oh, break for Bob Kelly as he takes out the 9 pin, but now he's got the 1, 2, and 7. Oh, he's got it. First mark of the game for Bob Kelly.
So he played to the right of the head pin, so the head pin went into the 2 pin, and then finally the 7. A little domino effect here. There you go. His first mark.
And a big fill. 9 drop on the spare.
4 pin left. Trying to make it 2 in a row. Put it down.
Yes, sir. 2 spares in a row for Bob Kelly. Candlepin Stars and Strikes is brought to you in part by Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan. Come to Salem and save. Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan.
Jack working on a strike again, this time off target to the left.
Good recovery. He'll take 8 on the strike. And a 9 box. A 5-pin lead right now for Jack Ray, but Bob Kelly has a spare up, as you see in the 6th. Jack and his wife Kelly live in Stowe, Mass. They have 2 children, Jessica, who's 7, and Mitchell, who's 2.5. Jack works for Marjam Supply as a sales representative. And he missed the head pin again, Jack. Very precise, good mechanical bowler. And
yeah, we talk about this every time he comes on. It just his upper body moves very little at all. He's so still, and just that arm swing.
That was the shot he wanted, and wow, he didn't convert it, but he made the 4 horsemen look easy at least.
He threw the head pin around that 7 pin. Just wasn't lucky enough to clip it on the way by, but fundamentally sound is Jack Ray.
Piece of wood in the back still moving. Jack will wait it out. And he's able to drive that back for a 10 box, but Bob Kelly with a chance to take the lead here.
Look at that head pin in front of the 7 pin, off the sidewall in front.
Jack Ray has 2 strikes. Bob Kelly has 2 spares. His 2 spares in a row. And the fill on the second one is 6.
4, 5, 7, 10. 2 pieces of wood in front of the 4 and 5. Left-hander, he may be able to, if that wood comes out even further, The problem pin, I would think, would be the 10. So somehow he's going to have to carry the ball off the wood into the 10 pin, and hopefully the wood would take the other 3.
We'll have a good look at this on the split screen, and Bob's reaction, and he just missed on the 10 pin. Oh. Good effort, though. And a 10.
Lead 1 pin for Bob Kelly. Both bowlers with 2 marks, 2 spares for Bob, 2 strikes for Jack.
Oh, Bob, big pocket hit there.
He knew that was in the pocket. He gave it a little clenched fist and a little bit of arm pump there as the ball went into the 1-3 pocket. There's not much doubt about that one. His first strike.
And Jack Ray almost gets a backdoor strike, leaving the 2 pin.
Just barely caught the head pin. Light hit on the head pin, but good mixing action leaves just the 2, and he'll take it for the spare.
That's his first spare, Dan. He had 2 strikes earlier, but that's his first spare.
He'll gain the lead, I would assume, with this ball, but don't forget, Bob Kelly's sitting with a strike in the 8th.
And just 5 on the spare for Jack. 1, 2, 7, 9, and 10 with wood everywhere.
Well, he's got a good chance of making it with all the wood if he hits the head pin. Got to have the front one.
And he's got it.
Really, he looked like he gave up on that one, like he wasn't where he wanted to. I think he wanted to split the 1 and the 2, but he caught enough of the head pin. And as we talked about, the wood did a lot of damage.
A little smile from Jack as he comes back. He'll take it. On the strike, Bob Kelly leaves the 2, 5, and 7.
Both bowlers now, they get the strike up. The next ball, they're a little more animated out there at the foul line. I can't help but think they're thinking about that triple strike.
Well, of course, it started at $250 way back at the beginning of the season. The new triple strike jackpot, sponsored by the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association. It's grown $50 a week, and so now here in late March, we're at $1,500 for a triple strike. Which I might add is the largest jackpot ever offered for a triple strike in Candlepin Bowling on television.
Absolutely.
Bob was hoping to clip the 5 and the wood. Instead, he got just the 5 pin for a 118 opening game. Jack Ray with a chance to better that. He's working on a spare. Jack has led most of the way here in game 1, and he drops 8 on the spare, but look at the leave.
5-7. 5 pin is a couple inches out in front of the 7, so it can be cut over.
Like that!
Like I said.
We haven't seen that made in an awfully long time, though. Great shot by Jack Ray.
Boy, he makes this look awful easy, but it is a difficult shot on the 5-7. Not much room for error there. 3 marks in a row by Jackie Ray. Comes back, wants the 10 pin out of there. He's going to have another cut shot in the 2-4-10.
Well, after the last one, this one should be
easy.
Piece of cake,
sure.
right?
Yeah, put it down.
Ooh,
very nearly did.
But still a very solid finish by Jack Ray. 3 spares and then almost a 4th one in a row in the 10th. A 130 opener and a 12-pin lead for Jack Ray after 1 game. We'll be back on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Details on our bonus ball contest coming up in a minute. Jack Ray with a 12-pin lead starting game 2 here at Park Place. With a spare.
When Jack finished the last game in the 9th box with that great spare, then the 10th frame he had 2-4-10, almost made that cut shot. And let's look at this. I'll finish the thought in a second. What that does for you is creates a lot of confidence because you figure the 5-7 is a great shot, and he almost made the next one. So right now he's running on high right now. He's got a lot of confidence and buried that one in the 1-3, leaves the 4-pin.
Well, it may not happen today, Dan, but I really have a feeling that we're going to give away that triple strike jackpot before the end of the season. I just have that feeling.
Well, we certainly got a great lineup going through the final weeks of qualifying that last qualifier. But then you look at the Tournament of Champions and got a great field there, too. A lot of those bowlers. Very good possibility of throwing a triple.
And of course, here's the man who won the Tournament of Champions last year, Bob Kelly.
He's leading by 12, trailing by 12 pins after that first game.
Trailing by 12, and then watch Jack Ray put up 2 marks. And Bob will take 7.
Same start he had the first game.
Bob has 3 marks to this point, 2 spares and a strike. But has not really been finding the headpin as consistently as he would like. Easy for me to say. That's tough to do and tough to say, hitting the headpin.
6-pin just toppled on him. Let's see if the wood helps him out.
Wow.
No, might have made a bad break with that 6-pin toppling over. Instead of having the triangle, it left the 9-10 piece of wood. Didn't help him, and it's a 9. So again, a slow start for Bob in the second game. And just the opposite for Jack Ray. Spare 9 spare.
Oh, another big hit. Dropping 8 this time.
All over the headpin right now. 1-2 pocket, 1-3 pocket. This for 3 spares in a row.
Was there any doubt?
Maybe a tad.
He made it a little interesting,
yes,
though,
right.
didn't he?
Yeah. A little light on the 6-pin, but just for a fleeting moment, I had a little doubt.
Candlepin Stars and Strikes brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Always the real thing. Always Coca-Cola. Well, Jack came up just a little bit short of the headpin that time.
4 horsemen left this time. The 1, 2, 4, 7. Trying to go 4 marks in a row.
Nope, too full on the headpin. But still, Jack adding to his lead, and he now has 6 marks in the last 8 boxes going back to the first game. And as you see, he's padded the lead to 33, pending what Bob Kelly does here. Bob finds the head pin, and how about that for a break? I was wondering if the 7-pin would go, and then the next thing you know, that's the only thing left. Wow.
Still rocking, too. He almost got the strike.
The 3 and the 6 went out of there. And Bob's got it for the spare.
Much needed. At this point, lead had climbed to 39.
On the spare, on the head pin again, but full. He's got wood on the deck, though, which is always good news when you have this sleeve.
Yeah, the 4-7 on the left, 6-10 on the right. Now you see it.
Let's see. No. Played that forwardmost piece of wood. And works it out for a 10. That brings us to a timeout. Jack Ray in the lead by 33. We'll be back on Candlepin Stars and Stripes. We're back on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Glad you could join us. We're here every Sunday at noon on the Winds of New England, and of course every Saturday at noon from Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill for Candlepin Skins.
Well, Jack just had the same 4 pins to shoot at last box.
Takes care of it this time.
Yeah, a little better result this time. Spare in the 5th. 4 marks now. 4 spares out of the first 5 boxes.
Well, it's interesting. Jack had 2 strikes in the first 4 boxes of the match, and since then he's had no strikes, but he's had 7 spares. He's had 7 spares in the last 9 boxes. And, well, this time he's going to be shooting at the 1 and the 10. Had a break there. I thought it was going to be the 1-7-10 for a moment. Either way, he would have had wood. For another one? Yes.
Well, he's got that second ball working, as I said. It all started when he cut that 5 into the 7, and it's been on a tear ever since. Here, the 1 and the 10. Watch the ball go down and take the 10 out.
Bob Kelly needs marks. Jack Ray getting hot. Nope.
The object pin, the 2 pin, but drove it straight back. 4, 5, 7 left. He'll drop 8 more and count, make it 9 more and count. 42 now, the lead by Jack Ray.
Jack threw 15 boxes halfway through the match, is at 211. I mentioned he threw back-to-back 400 series to start this season back in October. This, of course, the last chance for the bowlers to qualify for the Tournament of Champions. And a couple of 9 boxes for Bob Kelly, opposite 2 spares for Jack Ray. And the way Jack is throwing the ball right now, it seems like every fill is a good fill. Well, let's see. Here we go again. It'll be 7.
And
takes a couple of extra pins.
Another makeable spare, too, in the 1, 3, 10.
No. .108 through 7. Remember, he had a 130 opening game. Well, Jack missed his spot, and he almost wound up with a strike. He looked down at the foul line after he threw the ball. He missed his target, and the head pin is all that remains.
Got to be a little disheartening for Bob Kelly, who's been on the head pin and hasn't really had a decent spare lead to shoot at. Here, Jack misses the head pin, leaves nothing but the head pin standing. Not to take away from those other spares Jack was making, because he made some great ones.
Well, I think you're right, though, Dan. Bob Kelly will have a spare leave. I think you're right about Jack Ray, though, Danny. This all started really with making that great shot in the 9th back in the first game. That was his 3rd mark in a row, and he's been very tough since then. There's a spare for Bob Kelly. He had to sweat it out, but he got it. And he's right through the middle.
1 in the 5.
Wow.
Couldn't even steal the spread eagle. That's how things are going for Bob this week.
Takes a nice 9 box. Boy, that's a difficult 9 after chopping out the 1 and the 5. But everything going Jack Ray's way at the moment. On a spare. Oh, a big strike. His 3rd strike of the match, but his 1st in quite a while. And this was a big one.
Yeah, the 1-2 pocket, but nice and tight when he crosses over. That ball breaking a little bit from right to left. Turned away.
Off
Don't
target
turn
on-
away, Jack. They're still falling. Here
Wow.
they come. Hey, hang on.
Jack should have learned. He shouldn't turn away. Good things are happening for him.
He actually can play this wood, I think, and drive it straight back for the 1 and the 5. Oh, maybe just the 1. Oh.
Well, he's still going to have an outstanding second game and a very sizable lead after 2. 156 for Jack Ray and a 2-game total of 286. Jeez, and it could have been more if not for that miss on the 1-5 leave.
You find a lot of these matches won and lost by the bowlers.
There's the spread eagle you were talking about.
Yeah, who can put streaks of marks together and those who don't. And right now, it's Jack, even that game, had opened with 3, and then he had 2 in the 5th and the 6th, followed the 8th and 9th with a pair of marks. Now, I guess when you have only 3 open frames, you're bound to increase your lead.
Well, Bob Kelly works out of the spread eagle with a 9 box. But he is going to face a sizable deficit heading into game 3. And he gets a break there with a strike.
Well, he struggled this entire game. It'd be ironic if he finished with 3.
Ironic and also rewarding.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Looked like he was going to have the 3-4 split. Going for the double, but off target. And it will be an 8 fill on the strike, a 108 for Bob Kelly, and a 2-game total of 226. So the lead will be 60 for Jack Ray after 2 games, a fine 156 for Jack in that middle game. And we'll be back with game 3 here on Stars and Strikes in a minute. Don't go away.
All right, 3 weeks from today, it's the 1997 version of the Tournament of Champions. Chris Grimes will be with us. Who his opponent will be remains to be seen. Could be Steve, could be one of these bowlers, but you see the others participants in the Tournament of Champions. Chris Sargent there with 368. Gary Carrington is in second, and sitting at the top, a familiar name, Paul Berger with 417.
Wow. An amazing record Paul has had here over the years. We'll talk more about that when we get into the Tournament of Champions, but just amazing. Bob Kelly needing, well, he needs 2 things. He needs a big game of his own and a not-so-big game from Jack Ray, who has a 60-pin lead. Jack has led virtually wire to wire. Bob did lead briefly by 1 pin in the first game, but right after that, Jack put 3 marks in a row together, and it's been his way ever since. But of course, there still is the business of a $1,500 triple strike. That we may have to address before the day is over as Bob takes care of a spare in the second.
Well, that's what Bob needs. He's going to have to string them and just forget about the score, really. And I'd say you have to be around the 140, 160 mark. And then hope Jack is off his game this third game. But he shows no indication of that. Opening game 130, then followed by a 156.
Ooh, and I think he thought he was going to make that, too.
Yeah, very close. Tried to cut it on the inside, left-hand side, have the ball go down and take out the 610. Now you play it safe, get as many as he can. It's just a 6 box, so there's 3 pins off the lead. Now he faces a spare. And I've said it many, many times, sometimes a big lead is, well, it kind of hurts the bowler, you know, thinking, can I blow a 60-pin lead? And all of a sudden, this happens, and the bowler puts up a couple marks, and all of a sudden, he makes a run at you, and there's a tendency the momentum switch. That's what Bob's going to be looking for.
Well,
again, you know, he almost made another cut shot. I would say if Bob Kelly's going to win this match or give it a real run, he's going to have a shot at the triple strike pool because he's going to need some strikes along the way.
Exactly. Candlepin Stars and Strikes brought to you by Tri-State Megabucks. And now with Mega Cash, choose your dream. Tri-State Megabucks. Well, 10 pins off the lead as Bob adds 7 on the spare. Looking for another, and he's got it.
2 in a row.
That's only the second time today that Bob has been able to put marks together. He had 14 marks a week ago in his win over Jack Sanic.
This is a big box for Bob Kelly. I'm trying to jump inside Jack Ray's head and just think if I had the 60-pin lead, 2 spares, if Bob would throw a strike there, it certainly would get my attention. But instead, the 189, great effort there on another spare, but he will be open in the 4th.
Great out there with a 10 box. Bob's been pinning very well, but he just hasn't had the spare leaves, as you mentioned earlier, that he had a week ago. Jack Ray has done a lot of damage. Had 7 of those marks in game 2. And he'll have another shot at one here, a near strike as he leaves just the 3-pin.
You have a clear shot at the 3.
He's got it. Jack has thrown 3 strikes today, but he has also thrown 4 9-drops. On the spare. In the pocket for a strike. Wow. Well, he had come up short several times there over on lane 31. Not that time. He buried that ball right in the pocket. Strike on spare. Jack Ray in command as we continue on Stars and Stripes. Back at Park Place Lanes, Bob Kelly hoping to light a fire. Trailing Jack Ray by a big margin. And there's an example of what kind of a day it's been for Bob. He's having the same kind of day today that Jack Sanic had last week, pretty much. It's a 9 box. Bob looking for his 18th win in singles competition here on Stars and Strikes. And he's going to need a bunch of those if he hopes to come back and get it. Strike in the 6th. That's his 3rd strike of the day.
He's what, 17 and 11 right now his record?
Yep.
We only could have a couple Red Sox pitchers be that. Off target.
Yeah, Jack working on a strike, fortunately, so he'll get another chance to increase his fill here. I agree with you, Dan, though. You mentioned it earlier. The bowlers, every time they throw a strike, have got to be thinking about that.
Absolutely.
Triple strike jackpot.
I mean, I do. I'm not there in the lane, so I'm sure that they do. They're going to be rewarded a lot more than I'm going to be rewarded if they get it. In fact, I get to give them a check.
That check's burning a hole in your pocket.
Oh.
Plus, you have to keep erasing the amount and writing a new amount every week.
Right.
Jack will shoot at the 3 and the 5. For the spare.
He had to negotiate that piece of wood out front. Then he thought he might have been too full on the 3-pin, but he is just on top of his game. Real sharp.
Well, that's 15 marks right now, so that's 50% marks in the match, even if he doesn't mark again, and he's got 4 boxes to go.
Usually around the 15 mark point is when people throw 400s, and he's still got 4 boxes remaining. He's already at, what, 337 with a spare up.
And another spare for Bob Kelly. That one comes on a strike as he successfully negotiates the 4 horsemen. That's 10 marks for Bob Kelly.
Can't seem to solve this lane 31. Hits a head pin, but A little better than last time. Last time was the 189. This time 2-4-10 left. 7 fill on the spare.
Chance here with the wood. Oh, he just missed the 2-pin though. As always, we tape Candlepin Stars and Strikes here at Park Place Lanes in Windham, which is also the home of the Willow Tree North restaurant. Rodney Cronin and his fine staff serving breakfast, lunch, dinner, great service, great food, and unbelievable prices. So if you're here for bowling on your own or to watch a taping here of Candlepin Stars and Strikes, be sure and stop in for a meal or two at the Willow Tree North restaurant. Remember, it's where the crew eats. Another spare ho-hum for Jack Ray. By the way, speaking of tapings of Candlepin Stars and Strikes, if you would like to attend... Oh, strike on spare.
Hold that thought. Oh. Things are happening out in the lanes.
Not giving me a chance here. That's the 5th strike of the day for Jack Ray, and he's also had 4 9-drops. And Bob Kelly checks in with a big 9-drop. The taping for the 1997 Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions will be the day after tomorrow, Tuesday, April 1st. So if you'd like to attend a taping of Candlepin Stars and Strikes, and of course this will be our last taping of the year, our annual Tri-State Megabucks Tournament. It's the day after tomorrow, Tuesday, April 1st, here at Park Place Lanes, and we will start at 9 a.m. and be here all day till about 5 or so in the afternoon. So stop in anytime during the day. Park Place Lanes located right here on Route 28 off Exit 3 from Route 93. In Windham, New Hampshire, not far from Canopy Lake Park, very easy to find. And Bob Kelly finishes up his work for the day with a 132 and a 358. Needless to say, Jack Ray has already won this match, but now the attention of everyone turns to the strike.
He's got 1 in the 8th.
Looking for the double. A little light on the head pin.
Already over 400.
Yeah. And there's another mark. That is mark number 18.
411 and counting.
A little short again.
I think it was 421 and counting. No. Oh, well.
Well, it's more now anyway.
That's right. 6 more, whatever it was.
Keeps changing. Oh, Jack misfired on that one. Oh, watch out. Maybe this will go. That's the kind of a day it's been for Jack. He's had a lot of breaks, especially on lane 31, because he has often left the ball short of the head pin to the right, and he's been able to pick up some very, very needed extra pins. That time he did, but not enough to get the spare. But he will settle for a 10 and a 145 and a 3-game total of 431 for Jack Ray. He rolled 301 over the last 2 games on his way to a very impressive win, and he moves into the semifinals next week against Kevin Davis. We'll be back to see if we can give away some money in the bonus ball contest when we come back to Stars and Strikes. Don't go away. Welcome back to Park Place Lanes here in Windham, New Hampshire. Candlepin Stars and Strikes in the books for another week. And, well, last week it was Bob Kelly getting the breaks he needed to win, and this week it kind of turned around on him, and Jack Ray also threw a great score.
Well, he threw a great score, and you talk about breaks, but when you're bowling well, you seem to get those breaks. And Jack was just bowling terrific all day long. When he did throw a bad ball, he seemed to get a break, and then he came right back with that second ball and was able to pick those spares up.
As it turns out, this 431 that Jack Ray threw today was the second highest triple that we've had this season. The only score better was back in early December when Dave Arsenault threw a 438. So, of course, you'd like to have that score to win the series championship and get into the Tournament of Champions, but I'm sure Jack will take it. This is actually Jack's 4th appearance here this season, and the 3rd time in those 4 that he's thrown a 400.
Well, he's just on top of his game right now, and like we said in the beginning of the show, when he cut the 5 into the 7, that seemed to just get him going, and he just never looked back.
Well, we'll talk to him about that in just a second. But first of all, we'll chat with our runner-up, Bob Kelly. Come on up. We have a check here for 4th place, $175 for Bob Kelly. And well, you had the breaks you needed, as we mentioned last week, but this week it just didn't happen for you. And of course, you needed all the pins you could get with Jack throwing a big score.
Once Jack gets loose and throwing like that, he's tough to beat. He put the screws to me today.
Well, unfortunately, you won't get a chance to defend your title from last year's Tournament of Champions, but I hope we see you again in the fall and have a good off-season.
Jack goes all the way up. I pass it on to him.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Congratulations. Bob Kelly leaving today after a win last week. And now it's time for our bonus ball contest, and Jack Ray has the honors there, being our winning bowler today, and $110 in the jackpot. And let's see, it will be 7. And Dan is very prompt in digging out the go. See, now we needed this card last week. Catherine Harlan of Manchester, New Hampshire. Her guess was 5, so Catherine, not a match for you, but we will be adding $10 to the jackpot next week, and we'll be sending Catherine a fine consolation prize. And Jack, step right on in here. Well, you started the season here back in October with a big 400 series, won a couple of matches before you were eliminated, and boy, it looked just the same today. You had everything going that you needed.
Well, I had to come in here, bowling against Bobby. You're going to have to throw a 400 to beat him. And well, I got some breaks today. A lot of times I actually missed a head pin and got the lucky break, and Bobby didn't.
Well, we talked about this a little bit during the match. It seemed like over the first 5 or 6 boxes, you did throw a couple of strikes, but there were a lot of throws you weren't real happy with. And then you made that 5-7 shot late in the first game, and everything just seemed to flow after that.
I certainly remember that one. And there's always a shot to get you going, and that's what it was.
Well, next week, we're down to 3 bowlers now in this series, and one of you 3 is going to advance to the Tournament of Champions. And next week, you've got Kevin Davis coming in, and he's been bowling very, very well lately.
Well, I'll have to take one at a time, and of course, I like to be in that final show. But then you get Tim Lipke up there at the beginning.
That's right.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens this match coming up.
Well, congratulations on a terrific 431, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Jack Ray, our winner today, with a big score. And we talked about Kevin Davis quite a bit. In fact, Kevin is going to be on the Skin Series as well during this 4 or 5 week period. And he's bowling very, very well right now. I know you've seen a lot of him lately, and he's throwing a lot of strikes.
He is. I'd say that triple strike pool might be in a little jeopardy with Kevin coming on, and with Jack, the way Jack can throw strikes.
Yeah, Jack had a lot of strikes today, 5 of them, and a lot of near strikes as well. Let's take a look at the Tournament of Champions ladder. Again, we're just 3 weeks away from the start of the 9th annual Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions. Of course, these 5 bowlers have already qualified for the Tournament of Champions, and now we're down to 3 bowlers. One of those 3 will fill that last spot. It'll either be Jack Ray or perhaps Kevin Davis, who will meet here next week, or perhaps Tim Lipke, who's the number 1 seed in this particular series. But right now, Paul Berger is sitting up top at 417. I'm sure Jack Ray or whoever it is that wins 2 weeks from today would like to throw a big score and get up at the top of that list.
Well, I certainly want to, if I could, vault over Paul Berger. I wouldn't want to have to win 2 or 3 matches and then face Paul Berger.
Well, that's the situation. We hope you'll be with us again next weekend as we move closer to the Tournament of Champions. Don't forget, Saturday, though, it'll be Candlepin Skins from Pilgrim Lanes at Haverhill. That's at noontime on Saturday here on the Winds. And then on Sunday at noon, of course, back here for semifinal week, it'll be Jack Ray against Kevin Davis. Until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole crew, I'm Doug Brown. Have a good week, everybody.